There are 4 classes to master in Battlefield 6, and whether you like sniping, reviving, blowing things up, or face taking bullets, there's always another skill to learn. In this video, I want to do a deep dive on one of the classes in the game. Today, we'll be focusing on support. Now, I won't be talking about the ways you must play this class, but rather I'll be breaking down things to help you make better decisions. This will help you play the game that you want to play rather than the one that I do. If this is your first time on my channel, the way I do things is by uploading the knowledge in my videos. So with that being said, let me give you some big tips to help you play support better and more effectively. The biggest thing I want you to learn from this video is that smoke grenades are the strongest grenade in the game. Nothing zones out the enemy or creates lanes for your team like this grenade. And as support, you're the only one that can do this. Don't throw smoke at your feet or where the wounded soldiers are. Throw it to where the enemy is. Shut down their firing lanes, and you will open the path to getting teammates down as well as capturing points. Also, you're the king of hardpoint defense. You can shut down grenades, deploy cover, and you can also knock tank shells out of the sky. You're the only class that can turn a capture point into a bunker. So really trying to think defensively or back line rather than charging the front and getting cut down is huge. Lastly, always be rezzing, but be smart. If you charge out to res someone and get killed, you just gave the team 2 death tickets. Use that smoke. Go from cover to cover. Make sure you're not getting blinders on, running after the res icon. It's a surefire way to get shot. If that's too long to watch this entire video. I'm going to break down the class and talk about gun options, gadgets, and give you some tips on how to play them. But if that's all you wanted to know, please feel free to shut the video down. I want to be respectful of your time. You can navigate to any part of this video that interests you the most using the chapters with the timeline in the description. And if you are heading out, please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe, as each one of those things helps me out in a huge way. Lastly, don't forget to check me out on Twitch, where I play Battlefield and a number of other games linked in the description below. But let's get started on how to stop playing support wrong, a guide and deep dive for Battlefield 6. So support is the class that I play the most. So if you could make an argument about a quote unquote main, this is the one that I think it is for me. But I also have made many statements saying that learn more classes so that you can flex into what's needed for the team. Either way, let's talk about the signature set for support. It starts off with the squad supply signature trait. Now, you of course also have a supply bag. These two things will work in tandem. So your supply bag, you throw it on the ground and it will resupply ammo, gadgets, health, weapons, everything. That's massive, so it keeps your team online. But squad supplies means that anyone can interact with you at any time to gain health and ammunition. So your supply bag is on a timer. You throw it down and it will restock all of your items, right? But maybe you've already thrown your supply bag down and someone needs ammo and they're in your squad. Well, this is a kind of a two-pronged thing. If you are support, they will then, you can, if you're on voice comms, you can tell them, hey, just come up to me and interact with me. It's E on PC. I think it's A or B, or no, I think it's X on controller. Whatever your interact button is on controller. You interact and they get health and ammo. Conversely too, if you don't play support, just know that, hey, you know what, I need ammo. I don't find a supply bag around. I can see there is a support player right next to me. Just go ahead and activate them. So that is huge. Those are your big signature sets. But the other thing is your LMG proficiency. I think LMG proficiency is next to the sniper rifle as the best proficiency because it allows you to have a faster transition to ADS and no sprint speed penalty when carrying your LMG, meaning you don't move slower when you have one. Those two things are huge because ADS is already very slow in an LMG. Having the signature weapon proficiency plus adapting that low ADS is really what allows the LMG to be a very effective weapon in the hands of support. And with support, we get 2 different training paths, combat medic or fire support. And basically this is going to be the difference between, do you want to focus on getting the team up or do you want to focus on being a fire support? Now, fire support means that you're going to have better ammo resupply. You're going to have steady aim when you mount onto things, and you can reduce incoming explosive damage towards yourself. It's a little bit more of a selfish training path. I honestly don't like it as much because even if I didn't want to play a medic, these aren't amazing capabilities. It requires you to mount, which means it's like a guaranteed headshot almost all the time. Like mounting never feels as good as I want it to in these games. And faster ammo resupply just isn't the best thing in my opinion. It's not that much faster anyway. But Combat Medic, on the other hand, I think helps out a ton because you have your class active ability of restock allies. So resupply and heal nearby forces for 10 seconds. Reviving teammates takes only 1.7 seconds. So basically you are a roving supply bag. You just pop this and now you are resupplying and healing people and then resurrecting people way faster. Reviving teammates takes only 1.7 seconds, assuming you go ahead and just press the interact button and drag them and, you know, stab them with the EpiPen. Otherwise, just use the defib as immediate, right? So just know that's the difference there. But for Combat Medic, we also get urgent aid, so you can drag down soldiers 20% faster and revive them 2.7 seconds quicker. Whereas if you have restock allies, it's just 1.7. So just know the difference there. You revive recovery, so reviving down teammates triggers passive health regen on them, and incoming damage temporarily halts the effect for 1 second. So that's nice. Defense focus though is huge. It's why I really like Combat Medic outside of its capabilities, like as an actual medic. So defensive gadgets have have a resupply rate that's faster, but more importantly, they're more effective. So the GPDIS, the grenade interception system, it will only intercept 3 grenades. With defense focus, it intercepts 5 grenades. The MPAPS has a tracking duration that's extended by 5 seconds, and deployable cover takes 10% less damage. All that really kind of makes the class be more of what the class does. Fire support for me feels a little too aimless for it to be the one you unlock. I mean, it doesn't feel very good. I think if defense focused was in fire support, I'd like fire support more. But Combat Medic just has good revive, good defense focus, good urgent aid. Like there's just all 3 of these are knocked out of the park. Whereas like, okay, one of these is kind of great. That's it. So that's my take on the training paths. Choose which one fits best for your character, but I think Combat Medic is one that really stands out. Now with support, we get 2 different grenades. Incendiary grenade, which when you throw it, it'll light things on fire. Okay, someone can go prone and put that fire out pretty damn quickly. The smoke grenade, I've already talked about it. It is the strongest grenade in the game because it pops smoke, not to be confused with the hit wrapper. Blocks ability to spot targets and clears spotted markers from all infantry inside the smoke radius. You have to understand how strong that is because in this game, map knowledge is so strong. When Recon pops a recon drone and spots a bunch of people, or uses UAV and spots people, those things allow the team to really react, the enemy team to react to where you are and capitalize on it. You popping smoke clears all that immediately. So now can they not only see you, they can't even see you on the map to predict to where you're going. It is the strongest benefit that the support class can do offensively, right? You throw this, it's not like something you're not getting someone up. I guess you could argue it's kind of a defensive move, but still my point is you use this to help the team out while you do what you want to do. And yes, you can definitely throw it at your feet. You can definitely throw it at a teammate who's downed. Those are, I think, kind of the way we all use smoke grenades initially because it seems like it makes the most sense. But where you should be doing, what you should be doing, is throwing the smoke grenade at the enemy. And I don't mean throw it into their position. You throw it in front of their position. If you're playing Rush and the enemy is, let's just say, across a whole line, you create a whole lot of opportunity by throwing the smoke grenade in front of the enemy's line. They no longer can see that entire portion of the smoke grenade blocking it. And you get 2. So I like to throw one and then another one about 45 degrees to its right or left. This creates a whole curtain of smoke that you can move in front of. The whole team can actually get up from cover now and rush. You can go get people that are down. It just does so much to help the team out. Again, I've spent 3 minutes almost talking about this damn grenade because I've found that it was I think it was like the one breakthrough thing I realized about support that it changed the way I play the class. Because I'm like, oh man, I can really do a lot more for the team by using these grenades. With support, we get a lot of gadgets, a lot more than we've ever had, because typically support was a ammo replenishing class and you had a medic that was going to work, that focused on health. They've put the 2 together. So in the past, you got the mortar on a support class. You still have it here on the support class, but it's now, this is a medic support, right? So The portable mortar is the first one I want to talk about because I think it's really tempting because you grab it and you just launch a bunch of mortar shells and it does high explosive damage and kills things. But you can also launch smoke shells. Just know when you launch things with the mortar, you are visible on the minimap immediately. So that is something to consider. The enemy will immediately know where the hell you are. And the more mortar rounds you shoot, the more accurate you will become. A little circle will kind of get smaller and smaller. So it allows you to actually pinpoint where you're hitting things. So some of the best ways to approach this is launching smoke shells first, and eventually getting into high explosives as you learn it, right? Because the high explosive is just going to put an immediate target on you, versus people might not realize that a mortar is launching smoke grenades immediately. So that's kind of the benefit of it. Outside of that, though, you get two different launchers, as it were. You have a smoke grenade launcher. We've already talked about how I think the smoke grenade's amazing, so I'm not going to go into this, but now you have a launcher that will shoot more. It basically just increases your ammunition of smoke grenades. Then you have an incendiary airburst launcher. This I don't like as much. It's just an incendiary grenade that shoots 25 meters more or less. It's just not my favorite, but it does have an incendiary cloud that will burn targets, and it will block visibility and clear and prevent spotting. So it does have that benefit to it. So it kind of combines incendiary and smoke, but it's less of a smoke. There's not as much smoke. So you do get the benefit of combining both of the things that I like, right? Like incendiary and smoke, but you're just not as much smoke, way more incendiary. Just know that's the difference here. And you also unlock it at the very end of your support line. So it's kind of a haul to get there. Now, you also get three really important defensive things. You get deployable cover, you drop it down. It's pretty self-explanatory. We've all used it so far. It's nice to just absorb damage. It can help reduce explosive damage. So know that. I like to put it up in doorways so that people have to forge over them, either enemy or my teammates, but it helps protect my teammates and the enemies have to deal with it. But other two defensive things are nice. So we get the grenade intercept system, and then we have the missile intercept system. The grenade intercept system does exactly what you would think. It only works for hand throw grenades and launched grenades from a launcher. It'll only destroy 3 by default until you level up your combat medic to 3. Then it will do 5 by default before deactivating it. So that's how this works. If you've played Call of Duty, you've used one of these before. What is the Sentinel system? I can never remember what it is in Call of Duty, but I've used it almost every kit in Call of Duty. The missile intercept system is exactly what it sounds like. It intercepts missiles, but it also intercepts mortar shells and tank shells. And what's nice here is this doesn't do this for a set number of those items. It does it for a set number of time. Intercepts all projectiles during a window of activation that begins after the initial detection. So you drop this bad boy down and it will just simply intercept what it can until it self-destructs. I think it's like a 10-second window. And then that level 3 medic brings it to 15 seconds. So that is how this works. And it is a huge benefit once you get to rank 31 to use it, because it will just basically give your team. Think of this. If you're holding a point and you know there's a tank in front of you, you put this behind a car and then you stand back from it and it will shoot the tank shells out of the air as they're coming your way because you're trying to hold that point. That's why this is such a really strong system. And it also works for mortar shells, which we're going to see more in the coming weeks as people get their ranks up. Lastly, you've got the defibrillator, the classic, the one that you're going to have because you have 2 gadget slots. You don't need to take a defib. Worth noting, if you don't take a defib, you do not appear as a medic for people to get resurrected when they're downed. So if you're afraid that, like, oh man, I didn't take a defib, now I still see all these icons on the map because I'm playing support. It doesn't work like that. The defib allows you to see that. So if you don't take it, you won't see the resurrect icons and they won't see you as close to them. So you're not gonna be like getting yelled at in chat if you didn't take it. So just know that. Also, holding down, you get a full health revive versus just tapping someone, but you can tap a whole bunch of people. It's kind of the trade-off here. I don't ever play support without it, but I know some people who would just simply take the gadgets. So play how you want. I really like it. Oh, also forgot. Last one here is a supply pouch. So if you have a supply bag, you have a supply pouch as well. A single-use pouch to replenish ammo and medical supplies for the owner or their teammates. fully restocks ammo capacity of the primary and secondary weapons and restores a portion of health. So you can use this as kind of an emergency supply bag if you so wish. The bag works perpetually. The pouch is a one-time use, and you can either put it on someone or use it yourself. It's up to you. So this can have its uses. It just is basically your bag does the same thing. So it's a way to kind of circumvent the bag when it's on cooldown in a really dire situation. Now we're on to a conversation about our weapons. So if you're on a closed playlist, you'll only be using the LMG, but you also have access to carbines, right? And DMRs and shotguns as you would normally have even on a closed playlist. You can use assault rifles, SMGs, and sniper rifles if you want on an open playlist. It just doesn't fit the role of the class, in my personal opinion. I've seen some people doing like support and sniper rifle, which is some tomfoolery right there, but I'm not gonna really vie for it because it's not the way I play the character. I like LMGs for the way I play support, but I also, depending on the map, will flex over to a carbine. I think it just is really, really nice to play with the carbine, and you start with, in my opinion, the best carbine out the gate with the M4A1 until you get the AK205 at rank 22. They're both really amazing. The QBZ is also really good, but you'll get that down the road once you get danger close. Carbine, it just fits really well with how you're going to play the class, which is already very short. The LMG gives you a nice amount of punching power, and you can take things down quickly, but if you're running and gunning, it's a little bit harder to kind of turn a corner, run around. Oh, LMG. You could use an SMG as your primary if you want. I just think the carbine gives you a close and medium range threat that I find applicable to a carbine because of the amount of times that I find myself in the open as a support trying to resurrect someone, and where a carbine would help because I'm also in a CQB map, whereas an SMG is just going to be too far away for me. So that's my preference. I like to use either the carbine or the LMG, focusing on one of the other. LMG, I'm a really big fan of the L110. The M250 is going to be a little bit more of a longer range one, but it is really good as well. So once you get to those points, you'll decide for yourself which ones fit your play style. Some people also like, isn't this the shorter range one? Yeah, this is the other one that's like a really good kind of run and gun style of LMG. This is going to be nicer if you want a better ADS, a better style of play that really focuses on that, almost like a carbine LMG or SMG LMG, where you're trying to get up close and personal and gun things down quickly. You use more of the hip fire on this, trying to kind of lean into that, or jump into a better ADS to do something around those lines. But those are my recommendations for your weapons. So when it comes to support, there's some things to know. Your primary focus is running up, getting up close and personal, defibbing someone, and getting them back in the game, of course. And it's going to be frustrating because you're going to deal with people that are going to die, and they're going to get frustrated. They're going to immediately release, and you're going to have been 5 meters from them, and that is something that's going to piss you off. It's just part of the process of people learning a new battlefield. So try to have an open mind with it. If it happens, it's no big deal. You're already contributing so much to the team via the points of getting people up. When it happens here and there, it's not, just try to let it roll off your back, because it's going to frustrate the shit out of you. And if you are watching this and you don't play support primarily, know this: if you die and you hold down spacebar, you hold down the button to release to go back to the spawn pool, then what happens is you just simply wait through the spawn timer. You don't circumvent anything. You don't get to spawn any quicker. About halfway through normal bleed out, if you don't hold down the button, hold down the staving off the bleed out thing, is roughly how long it would take for you to just be back in the game with the spawn timer gone. So you might as well give people the chance to actually be a medic and get you up. If you're just going to release, you know what, TDM might be for you, and Call of Duty's coming out soon. No, I'm just kidding. But my point remains here, though, that let medics be medics, and this is how you be a team player. Because, you know, the one thing that you're always going to hear people talk about when it comes to Battlefield is PTFO, play the fucking objective, right? That's the most important thing when it comes to this game. Your kill death ratio, all those things don't really matter if you're not contributing to the death tickets of your enemy going down and your death tickets staying up. And you are the only class in the game that can directly contribute to your death tickets stabilizing. So you need to think of this in the currency of those death tickets. If there's one person down, they're 20 meters in front of you, and they're in the middle of like a no man's land with a ton of people shooting at them. So this is a lesson. Yes, get people up, but don't have blinders about it. If you run 20 meters out there to go grab that person, you get them, but then you immediately both get killed. Well, the other team just got 2 of your death tickets. You didn't help anyone out. If there's 4 people down, you run out there and you resurrect all 4 and you get killed. Well, you actually still helped, because rather than 5 death tickets going to the enemy, only 1 happened. It was you, and you got 4 people back up on their feet, able to move. And maybe a couple of them still die, but that's not the point. The point is that you can help stymie that bleed out, that hemorrhage of death tickets when you're losing, and you can keep yourself from really falling too far below when you're winning. Those 2 things are so crucial with support. Now, another big thing too is, and I've said it like a million times in this video, that smoke grenade. You can zone out the enemy like no one else can. Using that smoke grenade offensively buys you the capability to really climb up the ladder of success in this game. You do this, people can't see anything, you create lanes that your team can use to run to victory, to capture points, to flank, for you to resurrect things. Sure, you know what? The LMG's in a weird spot right now. I mean, I've learned to deal with it, and it's actually not too bad now. But adjusting the microphone there, sorry. But the point of this game is your score, really. That's it, right? Your score is not your kills. Your score is your contribution to the team. And your contribution to the team with a smoke grenade is not really readily seen through score. But all the things that occur from it can be. Your capability to capture points, your capability to get people back up is all increased by the use of that smoke grenade. And take a look. Take a look at this photograph right here. Here's my score. I'm in the top 5, and my KD is terrible. But the majority of the time I spent was running around and getting people back up, distributing ammo crates to people, using my smoke grenades tactically to create opportunity for my team to do stuff through tactical windows. All those things are really important with support. And support, I've heard that right now the big consensus is support is the easiest class because you can heal and you can get ammo. That ain't no bullshit. That's like not really a thing. Like, yeah, sure, you can get ammo for your gun that's not too amazing, while the other guys can run down and gun things down. You gotta like hobble around with your gimped out LMG. Support is not the easiest class if you play it right. Support is the easiest class if you're just going to use light machine gun and go gun things down, because you can just chop a med pack and heal yourself, but then you're just still going to get killed. You're still going to contribute null and void to the team winning. Play the fucking objective. Get your people back up. Throw those smoke grenades. Use all of the 90 gadgets that this class has access to, and you will find that support is maybe not the most glamorous class, right? You're not getting headshots at 12,000 meters away. You're not shooting helicopters down. You're not the person that's pushing the point as heavily, any of that kind of stuff. I don't even know why I said heavily like that, but you're the person that like is the backbone. You're the person that is keeping the back line alive. And that is so important. I've said this in a lot of other videos that if assault is pushing forward and engineer is the shield against the armored terror and recon is the torch, then you as support are the backbone that keeps everyone alive. And the team relies upon you to distribute that ammunition, to get everyone up, to throw those smoke grenades. Kind of think of yourself as like a sergeant, like Bandit Brothers. Like, all right, you guys good over here? You know, jumping from like foxhole to foxhole. They got old Garnier this time. But have fun with this and play it how you want. You know what? If you want to do the run and gun LMG, fuck me. I'm just a content creator. Do exactly what you want with this game. But once you kind of break out of the shell of realizing that you just need to defib people and realizing that that can actually kind of contribute to the other team winning, you're really going to find a lot of success and support as you use all the tools that you have at your disposal to get a lot of great moments out of Battlefield 6. So if you play Medic a lot too, like myself, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below some other hot tips to help out the folk. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Recon is up next, but have a good one and take care.